Afternoon. In accordance with sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. My name is Larry Clay and I'll be chairing today's session. Panel members today are Dino Lombardi, Yim Chan, and Peter Reed, and our Deputy Secretary Treasurer is Sabrina Salatino. We acknowledge the land we are meeting on is a traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submission in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. For those participating virtually, when your item is called, you'll be unmuted by the moderator. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee must first fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons and public bodies are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Today, I'll call each item in the order listed on the agenda. When an application is contested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation. When an application is uncontested, the committee may not require a presentation. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for a decision. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept new materials at the hearing. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee. Then individuals either in support or oppose the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we call on speakers in the hearing room first and then those participating through WebEx. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee, and I'll comment when you're reaching the 5-minute mark. When all speakers are finished, the applicant has an opportunity to rebut those issues that were raised by the speaker, and that will mark the end of the discussion. The application will be then taken into committee for a decision. Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, are there any declarations of interest in this afternoon's agenda? See none. Any deferral requests this afternoon?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are 2 deferral requests. Item number 19, 521 Brunswick Avenue, file number B0032/25TEY, file number A0020/25TEY, and file number A0351/25TEY. We also have a deferral request for item number 20, 649 Spadina Road, file number B0042/25TEY, file number A0488/25TEY, and file number A0489/25TEY. We can deal with those deferrals at this time.
Thank you. Let's deal with item number 19 first. This is 521 Brunswick Avenue. This is an application to obtain consent to sever a portion of lands for the purpose of lot addition. And there are a new 3-story detached dwelling with a series of variances and a conversion of the existing 2.5 semi-detached dwelling into a detached dwelling with a series of variances. Committee has before it a copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, copy of the draft R plan of survey, revised public notice, 2 photographs of trees on the subject property, covering letter from the agent, parking pad plan from the agent, presentation materials from the agent, a rental housing declaration form, and a tree protection plan, as well as presentation materials from the agent. We have email correspondence from Transportation Review and from Heritage Planning, staff reports from Engineering and Construction Services, Heritage Planning, and Community Planning. Another one from Community Planning, as well as Transportation Development Review. They have a staff report, revised staff report from Community Planning received on November the 12th. There's support from 523 Brunswick and opposition from 519 Brunswick and from the Annex Residents Association.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and one registered speaker in opposition.
Okay.
We have another speaker in interest, but we were not able to reach out to the speaker.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. All right, is the agent online?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Mr. Harbour?
Yes. How are you?
Fine. Full name and address, please, for the record.
Alex Horber, Carrot Board Lotto Architect, 174 Spadina Avenue, Toronto.
Okay, sir, you're seeking a deferral. Can the committee hear the reason for the deferral?
It has to do with the date at which the consent sign was posted on site. I was slightly past the deadline, so we have rectified that. And in talking with the staff, they have deferred us to the next committee meeting on, I believe, December 10th.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much. Pretty much an automatic deferral. Can we get the speaker that's dialed in opposition? I thought you had one.
Yeah.
No?
Through you,
Mr. Chair.
We had two registered, but they're not
Oh,
online.
One is online.
One is online?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry. Ellen, you have been unmuted.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, yes, I am in opposition. I just wanted to.
Sorry, ma'am. So I'm just going to back up. I can
Sorry.
get your name and address, please.
My name is Marjorie Kramer, 519 Brunswick Avenue.
Okay, ma'am. We're not going to be dealing with the merits of the application today. The applicant has requested a deferral because there has been improper notice. Under our rules, that's an automatic deferral, and they will have to come back at another time. So all I'm going to ask you today is whether you're in support or not of the deferral.
I'm not in support of the deferral if they don't put the sign in some place that you can see it.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to be doing. They've been asked to repost the sign properly, and
Okay.
so that people will get proper notification.
Great. So I am in support of that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take this into committee. Who wants to, Yim?
Move to defer the case of the improper posting of sign.
Okay, motion by Ms. Chan to defer, seconded by Mr. Reed. All in favor? That's passed. Okay, Sabrina, you said the next one was-
Item number 20.
Okay. Item 20 is 649 Spadina Road. This is an application to obtain a consent to sever the property into two lots and an application to construct a new three-story detached dwelling, two new three-story detached dwellings on the severed lot. Committee has before it a copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, copy of the draft R plan, 10 photographs of subject property, covering letter from the agent, previous decision number affecting the subject property, arborist report, planning justification letter from the agent, email correspondence from community planning, staff report from engineering development services, staff reports from urban forestry, and a second staff report requesting a deferral. Do we have the agent with us?
To you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and no registered speaker for this item.
No registered speakers?
No
Thank
registered
you.
speakers.
All right. Mr. Palumbo.
Yep. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee and committee of adjustment staff. My name is Andrew Palumbo of Ian Hall Planning Limited, and I am the agent for 649 Spadina Road, and my address is 38 Betty Nagle Street in Toronto, Ontario. I am here before the committee today, as Mr. Chairman just mentioned, to kindly request a deferral for this application in order to allow for sufficient time to address the comments provided by City Urban Forestry staff to date, in order to ensure that an updated arborist report and tree preservation plan may be prepared in order to address the City Urban Forestry comments in the memo they had just provided to the committee. And as such, I believe a deferral to the next available CFA hearing will allow for sufficient time to address these comments and an effort to address them accordingly. So as always, thank you for your time and happy to answer any further questions.
Great. Thank you very much, sir. Let's take this into committee. Does anyone want to move a motion? Mr. Lombardi moves deferral. I have a seconder. Mr. Reed, all in favor? You have your deferral, sir. Thank you. Okay, we return to item number 18. Oh, shoot. Here. Yeah. Just read that into you. Mine's, I still have the old. Yes. Yeah. Oh, so am I. Oh, it does say no. It's just someone. Ouch. Ah, there it is. Thank you. You're right. Sorry. Okay, item number 18, 909 and 911 Logan. This is an application to obtain consent to sever the property into two undersized residential lots, and there are variances associated with to maintain the existing two-story semi-detached dwelling as well as the rear one-story detached ancillary building for one property, and the same purpose for the currently adjoining property. Committee has before it a copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, copy of the draft R plan of survey, revised site plan, floor plans, and elevations received November the 12th, 4 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, email correspondence from the agent, legal opinion letter, plan of subdivision received January 12, 2024, revised site plans, floor plans, elevations received November 14th, revised site plans, floor plans, elevations. One was for 909, one was for 911. Logan received November 14th, and we have email correspondence from the agent received November 14th. We have comments from community planning, transportation review. We have a staff report from development, engineering, and construction services, and a staff report from the TTC. That's it.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent here in person and no registered speaker for this
Oh,
item.
hello.
Hey, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon.
Uh,
Name and address, please, sir.
Yep, Mark Condello, planner Glenshire and Associates. Our office address is 10 Kingsbridge Garden Circle, Unit 17, Mississauga, Ontario. Here on behalf of the applicant for 909 and 911 Logan Avenue. I can have a brief.
You can. I think it's a fairly straightforward. You're splitting the property into two, right?
That's correct, and,
Yeah.
and no development is being pursued
Right.
as part of this application.
So you're not changing either of the dwellings at this point. So the variance is associated with the separated properties.
That's
but
correct, Mr. Chair.
it's an existing condition.
That's
They're all
correct, Mr.
existing
Chair.
conditions. You have submitted a revised set of plans. Can you just share what the revisions are?
Absolutely, Mr. Chair. Toronto staff, very diligent, just noticed some inconsistencies with some of the information noted on the plan. So we just wanted to be fair to this committee and address those inconsistencies. But again, in terms of the variances, nothing had changed as a result of that information.
Okay.
It's something like a missing stair.
Say again?
It's something like they miss a
They
stair.
missed a stair. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a presentation, sir. Thank you for coming down. But is there any, we might have questions?
Yeah, I just want to mention that in the supplemental material, TTC give you a report that they listed condition 5.
That's correct. If I understand through you, Chair, if I understood the condition correctly, it identifies warning clauses to be to be registered on title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I had no concerns with that.
Okay, so we'll include that as a condition.
That's perfectly fine.
Even though there's no changes to your dwelling, they still need a warning clause?
I wasn't going to question it to keep the application rolling.
Fair enough. Dino?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I think there's also a condition of approval from Development Engineering, conditions 2, 3, 4, report dated June 3rd, 2025.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Okay.
if that's the case, then when we go into committee, I have no problem.
I have
putting
planning
forward-
conditions too, written down.
I didn't.
Do I have that in error?
No.
I got it in the wrong
The
one?
planning email asking them to add the stairs, that's why the invite.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's
It's the
been
email.
taken care of.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Anything you wanted to add or?
No, Mr. Chair, I'm okay.
So the engineering conditions are the standards apply to severance, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's take it into committee. I think fairly straightforward, guys. Dino?
Mr. Chair, I'll move a motion to approve the application and the variances subject to condition number 5 from TTC and conditions 2, 3, and 4 from Development Engineering, ECS.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Lombardi to approve, seconded by Mr. Reed. All in favor? You have your approval, sir. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
You're right, Peter. I was looking at the wrong file. Okay, we skip along now to item number 21. 1143 O'Connor Drive. This is an application to legalize and maintain one additional residential dwelling unit in the existing two-story apartment building, which was constructed without an authorized building permit. Also to alter the existing two-story apartment building by constructing a new basement walkout leading exclusively to Unit B. There'll be a total of 13 residential dwelling units on this lot. Committee has before a copy of the minutes of the July 21st, 2021 public hearing. Copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. 16 photographs of trees on the subject property, covering letter from the agent, and an order to comply. They have email correspondence from Transportation Review. Have the agent online.
Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and no registered speaker for this item as well.
Okay, Mr. Dell?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thanks.
Very good. Nicholas Dell for the record, Harper Dell. Hi, can you still hear me? I was just muted by.
No, we can hear you fine. Continue on.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Nicholas Dell for the record, Harper Dell and Associates, 1370 Hurontario Street, Mississauga. I am the planning consultant helping legalize an existing situation that my client actually inherited when he purchased the property. In the basement, there was a storage area that he's converted to a residential dwelling unit where we go slightly above the FSI parking and bicycle rates. And we're here seeking approval from the committee to recognize that situation. Mr. Chair, if you'd like a longer presentation, I'd be happy to give one, but I do note that we don't have any objections and we do have support from transportation for the lack of additional bicycle areas. You may be thinking, since the order to comply to today, what's taken so long? And I can only say to you that the best time to have dealt with this would have been back in 2018. The second best time would be today. And so we're here and happy to answer any questions should you have.
So when was the unit actually built?
Prior to my client purchasing the property, so prior to 2018, my client, I believe, purchased it in actually 2016.
Okay,
One question.
sure.
Oh, the question is from the minute of the last hearing, the reason for the deferral is to revise the application and scope of the proposal. So, but this hasn't been really, it's the same application. You haven't really revised the application, right? Is it?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Ms. Chan. I appreciate the question. Through you, Mr. Chair. My client had gone through a different architect at the time who discussed the notion of adding the walkout basement for the second entrance needed for this dwelling unit. And there were some discussions about feasibility and cost savings on design for adding a deeper window well that would have counted as an exit under the building code. But ultimately, my client has decided to go forward as is with the application for the proposed walkout instead. So there was some discussion and they deliberated over it. And that was the reason for the previous deferral. And time has gone by, and he just understands his options, and he's decided to proceed as is.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Dino?
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you. One question to the, excuse me, to the applicant. In your supporting material, you indicate or state that this is an existing condition predating the owner. If it's an existing condition, did the construction of the basement, or will the construction of the basement walkout lead to the reduction in the parking spaces?
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you for the question. No, the reduction actually is just because of the increase of units. The parking spaces aren't proposed to be interrupted or interfered by the walkout.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Has the unit been inhabited all this time?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, that is my understanding.
So that was being lived in without the benefit of having a building permit and inspection?
Yes, Mr. Chair, there is a withheld building permit, the exit of which is held up by this committee decision. So
it's more of a safety concern,
Sure.
I think, than anything, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, let's take it into committee. Peter?
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I think this is a fair application. I mean, obviously, we don't condone things that happen without a building permit, but this this agent's trying to rectify an issue and as you indicated, make a basement apartment a safer place to be, which is very important. And the variances that are required for this are extremely minor. So I'm happy to move approval without condition.
Second it.
Motion by Mr. Reed to approve, seconded by Ms. Chan. All in favor? You have your approval. Thank you. Okay, on to item 22. This is 86 DURIE. This is an application to alter the existing two-story detached dwelling by constructing a rear two-story addition, a rear second-story roof addition, a side, rear, and front east dormers, and a rear ground floor deck with stairs. Also to construct a new two-story detached ancillary building containing a garage with a basement, a garage on the ground level, and a garden suite on the second level in the rear yard abutting Mayfield Avenue. The existing attached garage will be demolished. There'll be a total of 2 residential dwelling units on this lot. Committee has before it a copy of the minutes from the October 15th, 2025 public hearing, copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, revised zoning notice for the garden suite, a revised zoning notice for the main dwelling, 9 photographs of the subject property, and a covering letter from the agent. We have email correspondence from community planning, staff reports from urban forestry, a second report from urban forestry dated November 14th, and a third report from urban forestry received November the 12th, which is an advisory memo. We have opposition from 91 and 84 Durie Street.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and 1 registered speaker here in person in opposition.
All right.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask the presenter to present all the very late materials that came in for this application. It's the red line public notice, then the revised plans for both the main dwelling, the garden suite, and the applicant will speak to this.
Thanks, Sabrina. So do we have the red line version?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the presenter is going to present that now, and then we'll get the agent to go over the revision for public record.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Diodati. Are you there?
Joni, you have been unmuted. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'll try calling the agent.
Okay.
Tony, can you hear us?
Is he there? He's just muted?
Through you, Chair, he's unmuted. I have tried calling by phone as well, and we can see two connections here, but none of them we are getting response from.
Tony, have you got either of those two lines muted? If you do, could you please unmute?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, hello.
Hello. If you could give us your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Okay, my apologies first off. Thank you and good afternoon, Mr. Chair, committee members, and staff. My name is Tony Diodati of Orange Ink Design, located at 134 Park Lawn Road.
All right, sir. You were here just recently, and I think you got deferred to clarify the variances. You've done that. So we do have some folks here who want to speak to this item, so we'll need a short presentation. And could you just, we understand you've submitted a red line version of the variances. I think maybe we'll start off if you could take us through the public notice and you could identify what changes you're making.
Okay, no problem. So before you are 6 variances. The first two deal with the minor addition to the rear of the main dwelling. The next 4 deal with the new ancillary building located in the rear yard. The revision that we have made, we have been in discussion since October 15 with the planning department, with committee staff, and with zoning. And we have decided to make a small change to the size of the addition, just to simplify the separation between the rear wall of the main dwelling and the ancillary building. And in doing so, what it's done is it's reduced our floor space index. Previously, we were proposing 0.8 times the lot area, and now we are at 0.785. And we feel this minor revision will assist in the application in total. The result on plan is just a change to the rear wall of the main dwelling. There is no change proposed to the ancillary building.
Okay, so you're only making one change to one variance, and it's variance 1 to 0.785 times the area, and the square meterage is 186.35.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, sir. Thanks for the clarification. Now, if you could take some time to walk the panel through your application, please.
Okay. So the current condition is it's a 2-story dwelling on a corner lot with an attached garage in the rear yard facing the flanking street. Our proposal is requesting the removal of the attached garage and building a garden suite at the rear of the property. The ground level of the garden suite would be a single-car garage, effectively, with interior storage for recycling, bicycle parking, and just miscellaneous storage. The second level would be a small garden suite. The main dwelling will have a small addition built at the rear, extending approximately 4.5 feet out from the existing dwelling on 2 levels. And with this addition, we are just creating a greater connection between the interior and the rear yard. So it's a little bit more usable as an amenity space for the homeowners.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We do have some folks here who want to speak to this item, so who wants to come up? Hi, welcome back. I recall you from last time.
Mr. Chair, members, good afternoon.
Name and address, please, sir.
John Casey, 84 Durie Street, property immediately to the south.
If you could sit closer to the mic, that would be better. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Because we want to make sure we hear you.
I'm just always used to taking a back chair. Is this good now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And I am a spouse of Marlene Cummins, who is the owner of 84 Durie.
Right.
Marlene is here today.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
We haven't spoken with the applicant since the initial hearing on October the 15th, but I wanted to start by saying that it was unfortunate there was an automatic postponement, and that we sympathize. We know what it's like to try and build on a timetable these days. And I have had the opportunity of reviewing the new items which were posted yesterday on the board, so I'm familiar with these revisions and note their effect. I also am going to use this as an excuse to get a much larger monitor for my computer so I can compare these plans much better in the future. Have all the members had an opportunity to read the written submission that was made? Are there any questions?
If you want to just, is there anything you want to highlight in your presentation first, and then we'll go to questions if there are any?
I will. I'm not going to read the entire
No, of
submission
course
to
not.
you at all.
Of
I'm
course
just not going to do that. All right. So looking at it in summary, I have to say that bluntly, the problem seems to be the garden suite, because if one were to take the access off the, sorry, let me back up. The garden suite requires an entrance to the second floor. The variance is from 1.5 down to 0.6 meters. That access to the garden suite is located at the south end of the garage, which is the property or adjoining property line. If no access were needed to the second floor, in other words, there was no garden suite, then the side yard, yes, that's a side yard setback for the applicant's property, the side yard setback would be met. Because I think we can perhaps, I can't find a distance on, or a measurement on the plans, but if we take the width of a doorway, or in this instance, the doorway to the second floor, that is to say the garden suite, that would be about a meter. That takes care of the setback. So I thought I just put that right out so that we can understand. That's because it's the proximity and also the massing of the building, it being 2 stories. A garage, I understand, can be maximum height of about 4 meters. This is 5.99 meters, so call it 6 meters. That makes a difference, because if you take a look at the garden suite A101, garden suite plans A101, you'll see that between the properties, there's not a lot of room. It's 2 stories to our north, all along the side of our house, and then another 2 stories for the ancillary structure. And the garden suite is a garage. Well, we'd love to have a garage that we could get a car into. We do not begrudge a garage. And it seems to us that it's the garden suite which is causing the massing and proximity and the noise that we referred to in the written submission. And with respect to the noise, want to remind you of what we said in the submission about the condition, about imposing a condition, if you decide to grant this, that it not be used for short-term rentals. And also to remind you that at the October 15th hearing, which wasn't really a hearing, but the applicant's agent responded to the question about short-term use by confirming that there was no intention to use it as short-term. I always like to see people who are willing to put things into writing, which they've said publicly. I have 22 seconds left. I think I'll leave it there and am open for questions.
Great. Thank you very much, sir. Any questions?
Oh, I'm just HVAC. Where is the HVAC going to go? There are nothing on the plans. We wouldn't want it on the south side
Sure.
of the garage.
Good question. We'll ask the agent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You do not want me to sit here, I presume?
No, you can join your wife. I'm presuming that is your wife, just to be clear. I think you're going to get a good meal tonight.
Yes, because I'm cooking.
Oh, there you go. All right, if we can get the agent back.
Yes, hello, Mr. Chair.
If you could take a moment to respond, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question and the opportunity to respond. First off, the position of the door is actually, it's down towards the southern end of the ancillary building. However, it faces the east side, which puts it directly in line with the rear face of the dwelling. So the door isn't actually facing the neighboring property. It is close to that property line, but its orientation is towards the actual dwelling, our dwelling at 86 Durie. Now, as for the scale of the ancillary dwelling, we understand that it's classified as 2 stories because it contains a living space on the second level. However, we took great care in trying to reduce the massing of this structure overall by incorporating the 45-degree slope for the roof line on 3 sides of this building, so that in effect, we tried to make it look as a single level dwelling or building as much as possible by not trying to have sidewalls that would read as a full 2-story building. So in effect, the living space on the second floor is essentially contained all within the sloping roof area, which limits our amount of livable space, but we have made it work in such that it does still provide us with, a very compact living arrangement. So another thing to consider is that, our main walls of the ancillary building are less than 4 meters tall. So again, this was done intentionally to try to reduce the overall scale so that it would not feel like 2-story walls facing the neighboring properties. And we feel that all these measures combined do help to reduce the overall scale and minimize the impact on site.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Mr. Diodati, I'm looking at the drawings that you've submitted, and specifically drawing A-210, which is the garden suite, second story. I just want to clarify. So the ancillary building, which will contain one garden suite, I would consider that an additional residential unit, an ARU, if you want to define it that way. It has a basement, and then it has a garage at the ground floor, and it has the garden suite on the second level, right?
That is the composition, yes, yes.
Okay. The drawing for the second level, it just says, I mean, unless I have not seen the most recent drawings, revised drawings, there's no interior layout. There's not a kitchen, there's not a bathroom. This is supposed to be a garden suite. I'm just curious. It's just living space, right?
Well, so the suite itself, due to its compact nature, would be more along the lines of a more like of a bachelor suite. So we're still working with the homeowner in kind of developing a small kitchenette area and bath area for this space. It is quite compact, but we don't have much option here. But that is the intention: is to add make it a functioning garden suite.
All right. And is it going to be a rental unit, or will it be multi-generational?
No, there's no intention for this to be a short-term rental or anything like that. This will be used by the family itself, the extended family, so it's not meant for occasional use.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you all. Let's take this into committee. This was here, Dino, I think you were here for this. Peter, were you here for that? You were here for that? That was more of an issue about the setback, an error in the setback bylaw, but it doesn't look like it's changed dramatically on the garden suite and pulling back the two-story addition on the main dwelling a bit. Anyone have any thoughts? Yeah, Dino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have a problem with this this application or the variances that are being requested. Variance number 4 is you know, somewhat of a reduced variance, but I could support this. I do note that there is an urban forestry condition that is recommended, and also in reading one of the neighbors' concerns, they wanted a condition regarding permeable pavers for the driveway. I could support a motion to approve this with those conditions.
Okay. Peter?
Thanks, Chair. I don't know. I remember this like from last time and this time. I have some issues with this proposal. I'm a bit conflicted because I'm not really sure what the issues are, but I find that the lack of the side yard setbacks, you know, they're about a meter short on the side and the rear yard setback. And I think on this, it's a relatively small lot. And I think that those, plus the proximity to the house, and then having a second story, it feels almost too jammed in for me. And it's kind of odd though, because they have made good efforts to, you know, slope the roofs to lessen that impact, and then therefore really shrink down the footprint of it as well, and making a unit that's maybe not extremely usable. But then there's also a basement, which I'm not really sure what that's for because it's separated.
Says storage.
Yeah, separated by the garage, so not as a kind of residential function. But you know, like variance 6, they're kind of significantly short on the separation from the main building, and then having the height implication of that. So I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to, you know, creating a new unit that's separate from the main house, removing that parking structure on their house, and then it seems like a lot of work to get not much out of it. But I know that's not my concern. But I do feel like it's a bit too much in that small area, and I understand the neighbors' concerns, but I don't know. I'm kind of waffling, but it doesn't feel I'm not a strong supporter of it.
Peter, sorry to interrupt, does it matter if it's a corner lot, that it is a corner lot?
I think definitely, certainly if this was a mid-block, I think I'd be immediately opposed to it,
Yeah.
just in terms of the setbacks. But yeah, definitely there's more breathing room being a corner lot. I think that does make a meaningful difference.
Hey, Yim?
Yes, actually, I do not know, someone can help me or not. I tried to understand this application because then I wasn't here for the deferred package. When I opened the deferred package, it's a different property. It's a
21.
513, the DURIE Street, and I have no comparison. But
Yeah.
going back to your point about the setback, I do agree it's a corner lot, but also I do agree that might make it a little bit easier if they maintain the south side yard setback to 1.5, so that is a little bit more away from the next door neighbor, and that will make it more acceptable to me. But as you say, I cannot compare to the last deferred package, so I.
It's
only-
basically the same, it's virtually
But it's
unchanged.
not a.
But the only thing is different, they pulled back
Oh.
the second story on
So
the
we
main
can
dwelling.
ignore the.
So the garden suite is basically the same as it was previously.
Okay.
There was
Yeah.
just an error in identifying the setback bylaw. In fact, the neighbor was the one that flagged it. And so they've come back with the correct setback.
So the
for-
setback.
Setback from the south,
South side, it is still a point.
yeah, it was different.
1.66.
It was in, the zoning examiner had made an error and it was the wrong bylaw. So now it's correct.
Okay,
So the garden suite is basically the same. The addition off the main dwelling has changed slightly.
I see, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, to go back to the, it's 0.6 is 2 feet away. I would think that because it's a very small yard that they have, the neighborhood in the south, and if the setback can increase at least halfway, like 0.9, 3 feet away is more acceptable to me, but it's only a comment. If it's acceptable to the neighbor for that little setback, I'm not going to.
Yeah, well, for my part, I mean, I understand, I appreciate the neighbors' concerns, and they've raised some important ones. This is a small lot. As Dino points out, this is a corner lot, and it is a little bit different when you have a corner lot. I think corner lots can in fact accommodate these kinds of facilities better than something that's mid-block or constrained by, surrounded by neighbors. I'd also note that this is, less than a block from Bloor Street. So in terms of access to amenities, I can totally understand why, an applicant wants to increase the density because its location is quite an appealing and attractive location. So you're proximate to amenities, you're proximate to transit, you're proximate to services. And in my view, these are in fact quite desirable sites for increasing density. And in this case, I think it's a really gentle density one. It is basically a garage with a very, and Dino points out, very, very tiny suite above. I'd also note that the sloped roofs on two or three sides? Three sides is actually, I think, a reasonable attempt to try and modify and mitigate the visual distraction to the neighbors. And quite frankly, this committee doesn't often see that. We more often see a full two-story, often flat. So in this case, I think the applicant has tried to minimize the impact on the neighbors, almost to the detriment of creating a reasonable space in there. So, whoever, I noticed on the plans, they call it an in-law suite. So that might be a mother-in-law suite. So it may be more, as I think the agent indicated, more for family use than it would be for renting out to, a renter. So I think it's a modest proposal. I thought that the actual design of the laneway suite was reasonably attractive. I get the setback, but quite frankly, we are seeing garden and laneway suites which are almost on the lot line or just off the lot line. I think this is not as bad as some of the ones that we routinely see. So I understand the neighbors' concerns, but I think this, given the nature of the lot, I thought it was a reasonable attempt to try and address the neighbors' concerns by having a design that isn't horrible, for lack of a better, very technical term. So I'm kind of leaning towards supporting it. So if anyone have any further comments, then maybe someone want to take a crack at a motion. I know you guys were uncomfortable with, so you want to put a motion to refuse, go ahead.
No, I'm not uncomfortable. I will just mention that it could be a little bit more improved. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll look at Dino. Maybe you were supportive, so why don't you try, and if you're still supportive, did you want to move a motion to support it?
Yes, before I do, I'm sorry, just to add a last comment, addendum to my comments. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe that community planning in their final report, Garden Suite monitoring final report that went to Planning and Housing Committee and to Council on Garden Suites, obviously, in that report did talk about corner lots as perhaps being more appropriate for garden suites, as well as obviously the main house. So I'll put a motion forward that we approve the application and the 6 variances subject to 2 conditions, one being urban forestry, although I see in the urban forestry report that
Advisory.
Yeah, it's advisory. So we don't need that, but the other one condition being permeable pavers for the driveway.
Okay.
And it's amended application.
Amended application.
Okay, there is, I'm going to call the vote, but I do want to go back to the agent before we lose them. So I've got a motion to approve with those conditions. Have a seconder?
That would have to be you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, seconded by Ms. Chan. All in favor? Opposed? Mr. Reed opposes. The motion carries. The application is approved. But before I lose the agent, I wanted to, with the indulgence of the committee, I wanted to go back out of the committee and ask a question that the neighbor asked that we didn't ask, and that was the location of the HVAC. And if the agent is still there.
Yes, I am.
So the next door neighbor asked, because it's not on the plans, where you're planning to put the HVAC unit for this property.
So in order to save space, the thinking is that we will position the unit possibly in the basement and then vent it up straight through the roof.
Okay, well, that should address noise concerns if that's the case. I think that would be good if you could do that.
I think that would be the most economical because we do not have a lot of space to spare on the within the suite above, and same goes with the garage. It's not ideal to position a unit within a garage. So that basement area will likely come in very handy for the location of units.
Okay,
and any venting will due to the proximity to neighboring property lines will likely vent straight up through the roof.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. And just to the neighbor, we can't put a condition about Airbnbs. It's just beyond our purview. We are not able to do that. So you'll have to take the applicant's word for the fact that they're not going to be renting out. Okay. Thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. All right. Great. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for participating in the process. Yeah. Okay. All right, we move on to item number 23, 18 McGee Street. This is an application to alter the existing 2.5-story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a front porch canopy, a front second-story addition, and a complete third-story addition. Committee has before it copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 6 photographs of the subject property, a corridor development permit, and a corridor development permit form. And we also have an advisory report from Metrolinx.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and no registered speaker for this item.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Name and address, please, sir.
My name is Georges Saeed. I am the applicant and designer for the project submission of 18 McGee Street.
All right, sir, just hang on a sec. Panel is very straightforward. Does anyone need a presentation?
No, just a quick question.
Okay, sir, we've read your application. We're familiar with material. We don't need a presentation today. We may have questions, so Ms. Chen.
Sure.
Quick one. According to the submitted photograph.
Is your mic on?
Yes, sorry, I have to. Yeah, you already started the construction, right? Is it, or the demolition or not?
I don't believe no construction started yet. We're still obviously in the permit application process. Might just be some, there was a house fire on the three houses connected there. So there's garbage and things moving along the side of the road and clearing out. The neighbors started construction. I think that is why they're on the photos, you see the fence up.
I'm just very confused because there's some photographs, yeah, it's on the screen. It seems that it's being constructed. So what I'm saying is that you haven't got the permit yet, right?
Yeah, there's no
These
construction
photographs
underway.
are these photographs your property, number 18? Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually just on the phone, so I can't see what you're looking at. I'll take a look at the, I should have the photos here. I'll pull them up and just so I can confirm.
I don't know. So, I mean, that's why I'm confused. It seems that it's still framing and then number 18 is totally gutted.
No, just to clarify, there was a fire in these 3 attached homes. So the middle house, which is not the one for our application,
Yes.
already got a permit approved. So they're undergoing construction. So maybe if that clarifies.
The one that attached to it, the shorter one, which is like in dark color, number 18, right? So that is totally gutted, right? This one's.
Yeah. The one I'm looking at the photos now. The one with the Tyvek home wrap is not the subject property. It's under construction though. Yeah.
So the purpose for this application is to just construct a front and second story addition and a complete first story addition. That purpose still applies to your property, or reconstructing the whole building? I don't know. I just want to have this clarified.
No problem. So the walls that are damaged beyond repair, we want to remove and replace. They're actually, the front and back walls are not changing location, or the side walls. The existing half story, we want to enlarge it to a full third story.
Okay, so they've had to demolish because of the fire, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
So they just left the shell on the outside, and now they want to proceed.
Okay, I understand, but
Correct.
so to me, it seems that it is a reconstruction of the whole building. That's all. We might have different variances.
If I can, I'll ask the follow-up.
Okay, Dino?
Yes, just to follow up on Yim's question. This would be considered a renovation? No, because more than 50, you're not removing more than 50% of the walls, existing walls.
We're not planning to remove more than 50%.
Yes, sorry, 50%. So it's considered
Yeah,
a renovation, and that's why the purpose is to alter the existing.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay,
No problem.
anything else?
No, thanks, Chair.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll take this into committee.
No problem.
I'm happy to move this.
Thank you,
Chair.
Peter.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just FSI. And so whenever I see that and with no setbacks or no height or anything, I think it's usually pretty clear where it's going to go. This is a renovation of a house that's going to look quite similar to what's up beside it. And this one variance, I don't think has any negative impact. So I'll move approval without condition.
Okay, motion to approve by Mr. Reed, seconded by Mr. Lombardi. All in favor? Jim?
Oh, I would dissent because I don't think that the application is clear to me because the elevations, for example, it seems that the proposed elevation is quite different from what is still left destroyed, I mean, by fire. So I think that there's more alteration to it than what it represents. So I cannot make a decision on this. So I dissent.
Okay. Motion to approve is passed, and with Yim dissenting. Okay. Move on to item number 24, 61 Pelham Park Gardens. This is an application to alter the existing 17-story residential apartment building by replacing the existing entrance vestibule with a larger reconstructed resident lobby and mailroom. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 3 photographs of the subject property, a covering letter from the agent, and a site-specific zoning bylaw affecting the subject property. We have email correspondence from Metrolinx. Okay, and we have the agent.
To you, Mr. Chair, we have the agent online and no registered speaker for this
Okay.
item.
Good afternoon.
Hello there. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, your name and address, please, sir.
My name is Christopher Laycock. I'm here on behalf of Architecture Councils, the office representing Toronto Community Housing for this project. Address
you,
is,
sir.
oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, this is just reconfiguring the vestibule.
It is, yes.
Panel, does anyone need a presentation on this one? No. Sir, it's a fairly straightforward application. We've read your material. We're familiar with it. We don't need a presentation today. Is there anything you'd like to share with the panel before we take it into a committee for a decision?
No, nothing more from me.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go into committee. This is Toronto Public Housing too, so straightforward. Anyone want to? Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Chair. I'm happy to. This looks like a positive change to the building, with a bit more breathing room, right, in that entrance vestibule. And so I think that's gonna be a net benefit to the building and its residents. So I'll move approval without condition.
Okay, motion by Mr. Reed to approve, seconded by Ms. Chan. All in favor? This is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. We move on to today's last item, number 25. 6 Kimbourne Avenue. This is an application to alter the existing 2-story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a rear 1-story addition with a ground floor deck and stairs, also to construct a new 1-story ancillary building, which is a detached shed in the rear of the property. The existing rear ancillary building will be demolished. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 5 photographs of the trees on the subject property, staff reports from Urban Forestry, and an advisory memo from Urban Forestry. Our agent is on.
Mr. Chair, yeah, the agent is online and no speakers for this item.
Okay. Ms. Cooper?
Michael, you have been unmuted. Michael, can you hear us?
Michelle?
Michelle, you have been unmuted. Can you hear us?
You want to give her a call?
Mr. Chair, I tried calling twice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Hello, sir. If you've got more than one device open. Oh, there.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Hello?
there's a big echo. If you've got two devices open, if you could close one, please.
Yes, we're trying. Sorry, the unmute was not working on screen on our computer. Apologies for that. Is there still an echo?
Yeah, no, you're much better now. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Good afternoon.
Name and address.
I'm Michelle Cooper.
Okay.
I'm Michelle Cooper, owner of 6 Kimbourne Avenue, Toronto, Ontario.
Okay. Ma'am, you're only asking for one variance, and that's coverage. I will note that it's a little on the high side. It's a little unusually high. Is there something unique about your property that this application gets you almost to 50% coverage?
No, my husband is here with me and has been working with the architect and engineer, so he can perhaps answer some of your questions as well. But no, we're not aware of any special circumstances on our lot. It's
okay. Peter?
Yep.
Thanks, Chair. The deck you're proposing, is that wood?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and underneath that, is that going to be permeable, like soil or gravel or something permeable?
Yeah, I was just assuming that it would be soil.
Okay, thank you.
Dino?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the deputant, you're demolishing the semi-detached garage and constructing a detached shed. Are they are they roughly the same size?
No, well, first of all, that garage is not going to be demolished. That garage doesn't exist. It hasn't been there for about 15 years. But that was a 2-car garage that was shared between us at number 6 and number 4. This shed is much smaller, and it's just for our side.
All right, and the only reason I say that is because in the purpose of the application that we have before us, the last sentence says the existing rear ancillary building, brackets, semi-detached garage will be demolished. You're saying it hasn't been there for 15 years.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's on there, actually. I mean, when we submitted the plan and the survey, it clearly shows that it was demolished. And I spoke to somebody at the city and explained that it is no longer, it hasn't been there for, a long time.
All right, thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just go back to the first question that our chair asked. I want to ask your coverage, lot coverage. It seems high. Is it because the lot coverage includes the addition and also the garage?
Yeah.
All together, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it's high.
I guess so.
Maybe I answer my own question. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Great, thanks. Thank you. We'll take this into committee.
So through you, Mr. Chair, we'll amend the purpose to remove the existing rear ancillary building semi-detached garage will be demolished.
Okay. Yeah, to amend the purpose.
Thanks, Chair. I'm happy to move this. I mean, it does look like a very high number, but looking at the aerial for the area, I think it seems very reasonable. And the fact that that's going to be permeable underneath the deck, I think is an important element that'll just result in better water absorption. So I'll move approval of the application subject to urban forestry condition 2.
Okay, motion by Mr. Reed to approve, seconded by Ms. Chan. All in favor?
As amended.
As amended, thank
As
you.
amended, thank
That's approved. Thank you very much. And with that, that concludes today's proceedings. We are adjourned at 3:42 PM.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please turn off your videos, microphones.